Hi, my name is Michelle Bridges, and this is my presentation on managing the information technology at the E-Library of Royalty University. Royalty University was founded in 1857 as a female liberal arts college, but since then has grown into a full coeducational university, which currently has around 2,600 students and 109 full-time faculty. Royalty University has three types of students: undergraduate students pursuing one of 38 majors, graduate students pursuing one of 9 graduate programs, and adult students pursuing continuing education. The E-Library is the only library serving the Royalty University community. It has 10 professional staff members and 12 student staff. It contains 138,000 volumes, and it has 3 main types of patrons: the students of Royalty University, the faculty, and also the Friends of the Library group, which contains certain privileges such as checking out books. The mission of the E-Library is that it is an academic library, and therefore the main thrust of its resources are to support the university's curriculum. However, its mission statement says that its mission is to create educational partnerships and work with students and faculty to create a rewarding and enriching academic atmosphere. Also, the E-Library has an unofficial mission as being a social meeting place, especially now that they have opened up a new coffee shop in the library. For this project, I interviewed Mr. O, who is the Electronic Resources and Systems Manager at the E-Library. His background is in information technology. He is not trained as a professional librarian. His major tasks as the Electronic Resources and Systems Manager is first that he collects and organizes metadata for the library and makes it useful to the library. Second, he makes sure that all the equipment is functional and available for patrons to use, and by doing this it includes some IT problem solving for the patrons of the library. His third task is being aware of emerging technologies that the library might be interested in the future. Before I go any farther, I need to explain the structure of the IT department at the E-Library. The information technology of the E-Library is managed by the IT department of the entire Royalty University. Mr. O, what he does is he coordinates the E-Library's needs with the Royalty University IT department. Therefore, the Royalty University IT department manages the E-Library's IT budget, which covers the hardware, software, and maintenance for both of those, and also houses the E-Library server. In terms of budgeting, like I just mentioned before, the E-Library's IT budget comes from the Royalty University's IT budget, and therefore Mr. O is not an expert on it. But interestingly, the library's budget does cover the staff computers. Also, some of the IT budget for the library comes from donations from the Friends of the Library group. For example, just recently, the Friends of the Library donated money to purchase 14 new computers for the E-Library. In terms of the network hardware that the E-Library has, their server is located off-site in the IT building and is connected to the library via fiber optic cables. The library has switches, routers, and hubs located all over the building. There are at least 5 switches in the basement of the library in the switch stack. There are 3 hubs, 2 located in the basement and 1 located on the first floor, and the routers are located by each group of computers. The library uses fiber optic cables to connect the hubs and switchers in different parts of the library together. However, the rest of the network is using Cat5 cabling. The library has 134 network ports, and Time Warner Cable is used as their internet service provider. Their bandwidth is 40 megabits per second, which the students and faculty really like because it was just increased from 30 megabits per second last year. And the IT department uses this software called Squeezing the Bandwidth to make sure the students have enough bandwidth to use. Squeezing the bandwidth means that this software program can identify what type of user you are, and depending on your user type, can squeeze the bandwidth you are using if you're downloading a really large file. Also, there is wireless access all over the entire building on all 3 floors. In terms of the hardware that the E-Library has, they have desktop and laptop computers, which are mostly PCs. They also have all-in-one printers, which have scanning capabilities. They have a microfilm reader with a scanner as well. They also have an archival scanner used for digitization projects. In terms of other hardware, they have DVD players, cassette players, and VCRs. But interestingly, those are for in-house use only because the library does not loan out any hardware. Also, all of this hardware has no set replacement cycle. In terms of the software that the e-library has, they use Windows XP and Office 2007. The other software they have is Adobe Creative Suite and the statistics program SAS for their nursing students. In terms of their security software, they use Norton Symantec Antivirus. The library also offers 68 databases to their students and faculty. Each database varies in price, but they're around $60,000 to $70,000 per year, and the library is engaged in some consortia to help defray that cost. They also do have a library website, which is hosted currently by eDreams, although that will change later this spring, and the website is maintained by a different librarian, not Mr. O. The most interesting thing I learned about the software, though, was their integrated library system, which the eLibrary uses Xerxes Dynamics 3.2J, and it's what Mr. O called a SaaS, Software as Service environment, which means that Xerxes Dynamics controls and holds all of the library's data and also maintains the ILS, which includes things like backing up the server and protecting the data. Mr. O really liked this type of system because it included fewer maintenance and staffing costs for the eLibrary. Mr. O believes that the patrons of the eLibrary are currently satisfied for the moment, but they will become quickly unsatisfied when Office 2010 is released because the library currently uses Office 2007. Mr. O also believes that some of the strengths of the IT in the library are the number of databases they offer compared to the size of the university. The university is very small. He also believes the SAS environment for the ILS is a strength because of its decreased maintenance cost. Some weaknesses he believes are the aging operational system. They still have Windows XP, and he believes they need to upgrade to Windows 7. One current change in the IT world is the increase in mobile computing combined with the new portability of devices. For example, a cell phone nowadays can do almost exactly the same as what a laptop can do. Mr. O believes that in the future of the library, the patrons will start providing their own hardware, whether it be a cell phone or an iPad or a laptop, but libraries will still be providing the access to information and databases and wireless. And therefore, libraries in the future will have a lot less hardware, he predicts. But libraries will still always teach people how to access that information and how to use it effectively. Mr. O believes that future patrons are going to need a lot more technical expertise from librarians than perhaps librarians have offered in the past. Therefore, librarians are going to have to know a lot more about technology. Also, he believes that an MLIS student and a librarian should know a lot about database technology, because no matter what size library you work in, all libraries rely on database technology for a lot of their IT systems. Also, Mr. O believes that for librarians, a very useful skill would be to understand OpenURL technology. OpenURL technology is writing query strings so that different types of databases can work seamlessly together and share information to make the searching process easier. In conclusion, from my interview with Mr. O, I learned that in most academic libraries, the library's IT will be tied to the larger university's IT department. I also learned some really new and cool, useful technological jargon, such as OpenURL technology and the SAS integrated library system. I also learned from Mr. O that database technology is very important for librarians to know about. The impact this interview had on me is that technology is still a very complicated subject even when seeing it in person. However, this interview gave me confidence that I know a lot more about technology than I thought I did. Thank you for watching my presentation about managing the information technology at the eLibrary of Royalty University. Have a great day!